Three, two, one. The following you're about to see is based on true events, and we got it through cell phone transmissions, computer files, home videos, and public news reports. Viewer discretion is advised. Hello, everyone. This is Nefarious Reels. I'm one host guy, Cole.
And I'm black. But I'm actually Ninja Jedi.
Oh, wait, you're not Mark Watson?
No, not yet anyway.
Not yet.
Not until I get those tanning pills in the mail.
No, but you gotta get into Harvard Law School first.
Well, we'll cross that bridge when we get to it. We're Nefarious Reels.
We talk about bad movies.
And occasionally some other stuff, too.
Yeah. And I guess I gotta start because it's the retro pick. And I went with the 80s classic Soul Man from 1986, directed by Steve Miner. And it stars C. Thomas Howell as Mark Watson, or how most people know him as Ponyboy Curtis from The Outsiders. And he and his friend Gordy are going to both get accepted into Harvard Law School.
No, they were accepted into Harvard Law School.
They were. Yes, okay. My bad. Then he's talking to his dad, and his dad's like, I've given you everything, son, that a father could give him, that a father could give you. And I'm now going to give you your manhood. So I took your tuition money for a timeshare in Barbados, and you're going to have to pay for law school yourself. And Mark's trying to find ways to, get the money for 3 years of Harvard Law, which is over $53,000.
Heh.
And the way he does it is he takes tanning pills from his friend Seth to get this scholarship for the top black applicant from Los Angeles. And yeah, he turns black and goes to Harvard Law.
And then shenanigans.
And then stuff happens.
So,
and it's super offensive. You can go if you want.
Oh, okay. So how do I begin? This might be the worst thing we've ever seen for Nefarious Reels. It's like up there.
I mean, honestly, this, along with like That's My Boy, gave me the most visceral reaction out of anything, really.
I think you're underselling That's My Boy, because at least that one gives you like a ton of different things to get infuriated at and be angry. There's always something new to get angry at with that movie. This film has like the one big thing, and it's stretched out for an entire film length. And then at some point, I'm just like, can this just be fucking done yet?
And it's even more crazy, too, because if you look at the cast, along with C. Thomas Howell, you have Julia Louis-Dreyfus, Leslie Nielsen, James Earl Jones. And then you also got, Jan from The Office. I think it's Meloria Hardin. I think it's how you say her name. Like, there's a lot of good cast members, and they're in this piece of shit. And I don't know what made them do this.
Money? I'm thinking my theory is that they got pitched to it, but they like cut out. They were like, this is a college comedy, but it's got like that, like a deeper message about the mistreatment of like black people, like these black college students in like this like university setting, and the struggles they go through. And that was like the pitch. And the moment they got them signed the contract, they're like, ha, psych, nope, this is our blackface movie.
Yeah, because that's what everyone loves.
The film, in Film Reason, they are like, no, this isn't blackface. He's taking tanning pills. He just took a lot of them. Now he looks black, though it just looks like blackface.
But it is.
Here's a question for you. Do you think this film would feel less racist if they just got a similar looking black guy to play him?
Wait, are you saying like it would be less racist if they actually got...
Like when he does the tanning pills, instead of him just being blackface, they just got like a different black guy that just looks like similar to him.
I mean, it would take a little less load off, but it would still be fucking offensive.
Then they just have to dub over all his lines.
Yeah, they'll just have his voice over the other dude's voice, and because there was specifically that one scene where
the dinner scene, I'm thinking.
Yeah, the dinner scene. Whitney, she like brings Mark over, and then all of her family members have these like fucking racist ass visions about him.
Well, we have to
Like
note that the it's a white woman that he meets when he goes to college, whose father is Liam Neeson, who is
Liam
the
Neeson,
owner of the house. What's his name? Liam
Leslie Nielsen.
Leslie Nielsen. Leslie Nielsen, who owns the building that our blackface guy and his best friend staying at, and Leslie Nielsen's racist. That's like his whole thing.
Yeah, and the other dude that they got the key from is pretty racist too. He's like, I didn't know your roommate was black.
Well, he didn't say that,
I
but
know,
we're not gonna
but I
say
want to
what he
keep it a
really
little
said.
more, appropriate.
And the roommate is like, "What? He's black?" And
It's like, oh, how did I not know that?
the thing is, like, I was thinking this, and I could think, "Oh, I saw a clip from a different movie that does this like a million times better." In fact, I'm gonna send it to you right now because it's like way funnier. Then hold on, let me
Is it
see if I
something
can.
with blackface?
No, not blackface. It's the joke
Oh,
where
okay.
it's the one, like I said, when he says, "You didn't tell me your friend was black," and he's like, "My friend is black." There's like a better version of that joke from a different movie, and I'm going to send it to you.
The only time I've ever seen like media with like blackface on it that I thought was like weirdly funny was just It's Always Sunny in Philadelphia. You know, if you've seen that one, they do a remake of Lethal Weapon. So then you got Mac and D are doing blackface because they're trying to be the Danny Glover and his daughter characters, but you realize that they're just shitty people and they definitely don't know better.
Damn it, I can't find the scene.
But
I'm upset. It was really good, but I can't find
oh,
it. I don't remember the movie it's from either. Oh well.
but it's just so ridiculous that someone thought in 1986 that this was such a good idea.
I mean, I don't know. How do I? Hold on. Here's a question: Did you laugh at all in this comedy movie? And I don't mean
I did.
I don't mean like you uncomfortably laugh because you didn't know how to react to something, so your body just impulsively released a noise that sounded like laughter. I mean, was there ever a time when the joke did the funny and you went, heh, or forced air through your nose from humor?
No, it was nope. It was just more of the uncomfortableness.
I will give it credit. There was one moment where I forced air through my nose. It's pretty much at the beginning, a little past the beginning of the movie, after our main character takes the tanning pills and he's running with his friend who isn't aware that he's doing blackface yet. And so when he runs past him and then he goes, "Hey, the goober," or whatever his name was, and then he turns around, he's confused, and he runs backward into the pier, and then they do a wide shot where you see him fall off the pier into the water. And I thought that was funny.
Was kind of funny.
I was like, damn, someone put effort and actually made a funny joke.
Yep.
They were fired later that day for making the funny without permission.
The funny. It was honestly just more funny because they they opened the gate on purpose just to make that a gag.
Oh, you think that they opened it and didn't tell him about it?
Yeah. So like he was in on the joke about how Mark changed races basically because he's a fucking idiot.
Yeah.
And then he's like, "Hey, once I reveal myself to my best friend, just open that little gate up," and then he falls in the water.
Oh, you mean in universe? I thought you were referring to like when they were shooting the film, they didn't tell the actor that they're gonna open the gate and have him fall off.
Oh, no, yeah, I'm talking within the lore of
the in canon universe of
yes.
Soul Man. Also,
and the way that he even reacts to when he's like, "I'm black now, and this is the Cosby decades. America loves black people." I'm literally rolling my eyes at that point. Yeah, local good guy, Bill Cosby, who's done nothing wrong yet.
Bill Cosby, he can do no wrong.
No.
That's what everyone said in the 80s.
Everyone was like, he's just such a sweet old man.
He shared the pudding pop line.
Yeah, he does the pudding pop.
I'm going to go see his new upcoming movie, Leonard Part 6. It's going to be hilarious.
It's going to be so funny.
And then after they step out and go, okay, Bill Cosby can do like one wrong, but there's nothing now after this. He can't do anything worse than Leonard Part 6.
Nope, nothing beats Leonard Part 6.
It's all uphill for Cosby.
His career is in good hands.
Enough about dunking on Cosby and how
Yeah,
terrible.
enough on dunking on shitty people
No, asterisk. We are well
or
aware that Bill
shitty people.
Cosby is a terrible person. We do not condone Bill Cosby. He sucks ass, and we hate him.
We do.
But the only thing we like about Bill Cosby is making fun of him because he's a piece of shit.
Mm-hmm.
Where were we? We got really
Talking
sidetracked.
about Gordy falling into the water after that fishing gate opened.
Oh yeah, that was funny. Everything else in this film sucked ass.
Yeah. Did you also like the one scene where they go to the financial aid office so Mark can pick up his
To get a
scholarship
loan.
check?
That.
And then the
that scene.
financial aid lady clerk sees his application report where he X'd off white/Caucasian,
Mhm.
and she takes a second glance at him, takes some white out, and just paints over that, and she's like, "Oh yeah, that's normal."
I mean, to be fair, typos happen. I wouldn't be shocked if it made sense.
I mean, yeah,
I understood what it meant.
but it was just goofy. It was just goofy in that sense. I just thought, and then especially when they show the reveal of him, turning black when he's in some interview, I guess, for Harvard Law.
It's
Or was
like
that when he was getting a loan?
no,
What
no,
was
that was like no. What happened was, but he gets the
Okay.
loan. He goes for the loan, but gets rejected.
Yeah,
and
because
then
his credit's just terrible.
yeah, and so then it was like, oh, how am I gonna get the money? And then it just hard cuts to him being in blackface, pretty much.
Yeah.
Like I was waiting for him to be like, I have no other option. Like there's no build up to it.
Yeah, there's nothing. It's just it transitions to the next scene, and then he's black.
Like obviously if you're going into it, like back in the 80s, this was probably like a trailer for it probably showed this kind of stuff, so you would go in knowing that. But if you didn't know what Soul Man was about and you just watched it in blindly, you would not expect blackface, even though it gets mentioned when they're looking through different ways for him to get money, and the whole thing's brought up. But you would not expect that, oh, he's going to do blackface. That is clearly the solution.
Yeah.
You know what would have been a funnier movie? If he doesn't, but he sneaks into Harvard with he gets transported by his best friend, and he sneaks into classes and stuff, and that's the whole shenanigans. He pretends to be a student.
Oh, God.
And you do something like that, and that would probably have been funnier. Because honestly, this film is kind of racist. Even removing the blackface, wiping that off.
Yeah.
Not counting that, and there's still a lot of racist stuff in here.
There was a lot of racist shit in here. You have that one dude who's just saying the most offensive jokes you could hear, but it's always whenever Black Mark is in presence, and he's like, "Hey, no offense, right?"
That's their whole character is just, oh, we say racist jokes, but only when we can detect black people in our vicinity.
Yeah, we only do it when a black guy is within the vicinity of us, and then we say the jokes. We don't ever say it in private at all, because
but only
we're
if they
pieces of
look,
shit.
not if they are black. Only if they look black.
If they have a different, darker skin tone than us, then yes, it's jokes away.
Then they have the where he goes the BSA or the Black Student Association meeting, and he's just oh yeah, they're a kind of like a militia style group, and he goes in just as a Black Panther.
Yep, he's just dressed up like a Black Panther,
and that was so fucking stupid. It's you're just gonna take the
you're
person
that fucking gullible, really?
That's stupid. And even if that was the case, why would you go dressed as a fucking Black Panther? The person who came to introduce, who is the love interest of the movie, is dressed normally. Is just oh, the BSA meeting's this, and
it's
then
a students association meeting, and you're just gonna dress up like that.
And he's just oh great, you made me blow it. Now she's never gonna want to have sex with me.
I was kind of in disbelief and then he's just dude, you really fell for that? You idiot.
Yeah, it sucks because honestly, at the beginning of the movie, the best friend's the best character because he's the voice of reason. But I guess the moment he went to Harvard, all his brain cells got fucking vacuumed out because he's dude, I wasn't gonna stop you from doing this thing because if I was gonna do something, then I wouldn't want you to stop me from doing it.
But now it's Harvard, so they gotta focus the brain cells on the education.
Then again, fucking the guy from the kissing booth made it to Harvard, so maybe really idiots can just get into Harvard.
Yeah, that's true.
We forgot to account the kissing booth the fallacy on this whole thing.
Tuppen supremacy all the way.
all the way. James Earl Jones is in this, and it's like, oh, Earl, what are you
Oh,
doing
let's get
here?
into that. And you know when like they're signing up for classes, and then basically Mark goes, "I'm gonna take criminal law because the professor's a brother," and that was another just end me now, please. That was almost a moment I was about to shut it off, but then I was like, I picked this. I have to get through this.
This is your burden. This was
yeah,
your
this was my
mistake.
burden.
This was your cross to bear.
Yeah.
And of course, James Earl Jones is a
But
hard ass, but he warms up to, of course, their main character. He's like, "You have improved so much. You're so great. I want you to be part of our fucking student council committee thing that we have, because you're so great.
you're just such a fucking hero.
You're an inspiration to all black people everywhere."
Yeah, and then once he finds out the truth, and then he's like, "What are you gonna do now, bitch?" And then Mark's basically just gets off scot-free. He's just got to do other things around the community, and that's like it.
Mark
He doesn't
basically just bribes his way into staying
Yeah.
at Harvard. And
This is literally why I say it's white privilege the movie.
And James Earl has the shittiest reason. He's like, "I've taught you many things, but there's what you learned one thing I couldn't teach you: how to be black." And I was like, "What?
Like, what the fuck
What
do
are you
mean?
talking about?" This man literally like exploited like everything to get into this and did
He
blackface
exploited a
in front
whole
of you.
system to get a scholarship because he didn't have the money to get into Harvard Law, and you're just gonna give him a pat on the back because you didn't teach him this one thing. Like, fuck off.
Oh, and of course, the love interest
Oh
ends
my
up
God.
fucking falling for him. And the whole thing is fucking stupid because the whole time when
Yeah.
Because way at the beginning, Friend's like, "Wait a minute, aren't you just taking the scholarship away from like some other like black person to get it?" And he's like, "No way,
He's
dude.
like, how
I
many do you
talked to
think
them."
applied though?
He's like, "No way, dude. The only person that like would qualify, he went to Stanford, so I'm able to go to Harvard because no one else in LA would go." And then it's revealed actually, if it doesn't go through
The love
LA,
interest, it goes to the whole state.
and I guess our fucking genius Harvard Law incoming student who's doing blackface apparently didn't do enough research to actually learn, oh, hey, you actually are stealing it, you dumb idiot.
Yeah, and you stole it from this girl from San Diego who is the love interest, obviously, no doubt, and has a kid too.
Wait, I thought that was her brother.
That little boy?
The little boy, yeah.
No, I'm pretty sure. No, that was her son.
That was her son? I thought it was her little brother.
Yeah.
I don't know. I was zoning out at that point. I was so bored. I was at the point when I was just infuriated and bored.
Yeah, fair
I
enough.
started like doing other stuff. I watched a minute-long video of a fox stealing their owner's phone and running away with it, and that got more laughs out of me than this entire movie.
Yeah, I would. Yeah.
You know the weirdest thing is Mark's supposed to be a hero, but there's like no actual villain in this.
There is no. He's the antagonist.
But he wins. No, he's supposed to be a hero. Like, what
He's
is
our protagonist and antagonist, honestly, if I think about it.
in a sense, but the film doesn't treat him as an antagonist. Like, we're not supposed to.
No, it doesn't.
We're supposed to be actively rooting for him and laughing when shenanigans happen. We want him to learn a lesson.
Yeah, we want him to learn some kind of lesson because he's just such a fucking
I want
piece
to
of
apologize to the guy, our main character from I'll Be Home for Christmas, because he didn't learn jack dilly fucking squat, but at least he didn't decide, you know what, I'm gonna do like blackface across the country.
I'm not. Yeah, I'm gonna go through this whole cross country trip because I'm on a fucking Porsche.
Like, at
but
least
then I learn, oh, family matters more. But yeah, at least I didn't do blackface.
he might have been a selfish prick, but at least he was actually helping out people, kind of, in a sense.
I mean, he at least kind of had his heart grow a little bit, not 3 times like the Grinch. It was more like half times. But even then, yeah, he still didn't take an application away from another black student at wherever he went to school.
But so because like the antagonistic character, like our antagonist characters, there's Leslie Nielsen, but he wins technically. Because Leslie Nielsen's like racist, but he wins because his whole thing was like, I want to get that black guy out of my apartment building, try to find a reason to get him out, and then later he finds out that he was stealing with his daughter, and he's able to punch him in the face and give him you're like, I'm evicting you from this house, get out of here.
Yeah, like, okay, I don't get that one. Because was that necessarily violating any of the lease? Because I don't think it was. Because
Maybe
there was nothing in there that said no sleeping with my daughter.
I mean there could have been. We never saw the lease.
Yeah, I know. The only thing that he might have broken was just loud music, which he plays like 2 seconds
Which
right
like
after you hear him say
instantly.
that. So, oh yeah, there you go. And then, nope, that doesn't help. That doesn't do anything.
You have like the guy who's like he's going to BU, which I'm guessing is Berkeley, which is another kissing booth
Boston, I
connection.
think that might be Boston University.
Oh, okay, never mind then. Fuck you, kissing
And then
booth.
he was trying to be the hero too to prove that he was actually white.
Like
And then once he goes to provide the evidence, oh, he's already white.
like the whole thing is just like he's like supposed to be like the jerk that like no one likes, but he doesn't really do anything jerkish. Like he has like
He's kind of a doofus.
he has
And
like an
annoying.
annoying laugh, and like that's really it. But he wants to go to Harvard, but he can't. But now he's on top of the wait list. So I guess the whole thing is like, oh, if someone gets expelled, maybe, or if our guy gets caught and he gets expelled, then that means this guy is going to. But he doesn't do anything. That guy doesn't do anything wrong. In fact, he's doing the right thing because he realizes, hey, this guy scammed his way into getting to Harvard with this scholarship thing. I'm going to expose it. And while you can argue, well, he's just doing it so he can get to Harvard, he's still
Yep.
like, yeah, oh, how dare he
He's
try to get into Harvard by exposing someone doing blackface to get money to go to school and taking away from someone else. What an asshole.
I know. And then he's basically just trying to take his spot because he wants to get into Harvard. So he's not even that better either.
Oh, yeah, and just as a side note, is that the Boston University guy, isn't his girlfriend, like, Elaine from, like,
It's
Seinfeld?
Elaine, yeah.
Okay, good. I thought so. But I just want a validation. I want a validation for the obvious thing. I guess our big antagonist at the end of the movie was the two guys who make those racist jokes, because at the end our main character punches them and that gets them the girl and at the end of the movie.
Apparently. Yep, all is forgiven for
Racism's no more.
her scholarship funds and doing blackface, but he punched a couple racist dudes, so that's okay.
He defeated racism then and there. Racism ended all across the world doing that.
Yeah, he's like, we did it, boys. Racism is no more because I learned what it was to be black. But really, it was nothing. Like, fuck off.
I think he gives like the scholarship back to the his love interest. I think that's
Yeah,
what that
he said he was gonna give it back to her, but then like plus interest, and then yeah, he was gonna help within the black community during his breaks and all that. And he wants to get a law degree, and there was something else, but who gives a shit? Fuck him.
Yeah, he sucks. Fuck. What else? There's the funny line where he goes, "Mom, Dad, I'm black."
I'm black.
Because we got the classic comedy bit where, the white girl I slept with is in this room, but now the girl I'm in love with is now in this room, and oh, my parents are here. Now I have to, and they think I'm still white, so I'm gonna have to juggle all
that
this.
was a
Whoa.
cliched scene too, where it's like, oh, everyone's all in the same room. My love interest, this girl I'm fucking, and then my parents are here. What do I do? And ooh, the funny.
And then his parents are just like also racist.
Yeah, they're also
just like
racist pieces of shit.
he's like, I think he had a knife, but don't.
It's also, I find it kind of funny that they find out this way. Like, I guess they didn't ever see him until after he took the pills.
Yeah, I
like
guess
they
not.
never saw him before then. Before they went to Harvard, and that was it.
Yeah, I guess it was all just a bunch of bull. Let's not forget how our main character Mark learns that it's not so great to actually be a black person, because people look at him funny and step away from him, and it's like the most minor things. Like he gets arrested by the police, and he gets put into like the slammer, and I guess he gets pulled over unfairly because he swerves out of the way from a lady who opened her car door, and then he gets arrested because I guess he doesn't have his ID because whoops, I forgot I only have my white guy ID, so I have to say I don't have it, and now I'm getting arrested. And now I get beat up by a bunch of racists that are all in jail at the same time.
Mm-hmm.
Like, it doesn't really have any. It's just like this is the very deep message this film has. It's that racism is bad. I bet you would never figure this out if you didn't watch Soul Man. What else is there to say other than complaining about how racist the movie is and how terrible all the characters are?
I don't know. Not really much else. Even like everything else, like and how it's made, it's just so bland and amateur, really.
It's very, very uninteresting. It's your standard, like, Saturday morning movie, like your teen comedy.
I also looked up some of the director's filmography, and some of the other movies he made included Lake Placid, the first two sequels of Friday the 13th, so part 2 and 3, and he made Halloween H2O.
Yeah, he's actually made fun movies, and then he's like, these were all just means to
And
make his
here's my fucking racist movie.
he's like, I'm gonna make my magnum opus, the blackface movie. So yeah, worst film
Yeah,
I think I've seen, or at least second worst. I'm on the fence, cause Southland Tale's so fucking boring, but this film's boring and racist. But this film's shorter than Southland Tales.
that is gracefully nice. Richard.
Richard would have made Soul Man in this day and age if he could.
He probably would.
Fucking Richard.
Maybe, but there'll be a fart cut though.
Probably not. Anyway, I guess that's all we got to say about.
You want to get to? Do you want to get to the next one finally, so we can maybe
Round
breathe
this
a
out?
little?
Yeah, let's talk
Because I
about
think I got all my
a
venting out now.
movie. So my pick, I had the minor pick. I did Megan is Missing.
Mithrigan is missing.
Mithrigan, Juanez, Monafivennoning. I think that's about right.
The movie that made TikTok shit their pants.
Yeah, let's cover that briefly because this film was released 2011 by Michael Goy and had a fairly recent, like a year ago, resurgence on TikTok as a really scary movie. And this is probably the best thing TikTok has ever done. Imagine you are Michael Goy. Your probably best known film is because he got shit on by YMS. And then all of a sudden it has this huge popular resurgence. And Lionsgate calls him and goes, "Yo, Michael Goy, we want to release your film on Blu-ray." That has to be a pretty nice feeling to get a film of yours that you've directed. One of your only directed films on Blu-ray.
Mm-hmm.
And that's where most of the comments go because this film's fucking boring.
Cringe talk.
I just want to note something that helped this film a little. I still think it's a terrible movie. But an interesting thing, because I watched the special features, it is interesting to note which ones are just carried over from the DVD and which ones are new on the Blu-ray. Like all the commentary tracks, those are just the ones from the DVD. And they actually didn't include a making of, short 5-minute making of that's on the DVD. But they added in a blooper that was from the movie. They got Megan, an adult now, to come and talk about the movie a bit, and she mentions the resurgence on TikTok, and she brought up a interesting point. She talks about how Michael, our director, didn't intend to make this for teenagers; he made it for parents.
Oh,
and that was kind of an interesting point, I think. Like he didn't.
I could see that because it did well with how like it's acted and written and acted. I think I said acted twice.
Yeah, well, that's fine.
But you know what I mean. It seemed like how it was done. It gave off that vibe of how like a grown man, however old he was when they made it, would think teenagers acted. It had that whole "how do you do, fellow kids" vibe.
In its defense, the swears were on point. I just think there was way too much talk about sex.
Yeah, way too much.
Like,
and it was weird too because they were like what 14 when this was all these events happened.
Yeah, 14 and 13.
And they were like acting like high schoolers. It didn't seem like middle school talk to me for some reason.
It was like, yeah, it was like mostly sex and drugs and stuff, and it was really weird. There was a lot of swearing, which is like, yeah, middle school you start swearing a lot because you learned them and now you want to say them all the time.
Mm-hmm.
That's like cool. So I usually get that. I give that a pass. But yeah, another interesting thing that was kind of mentioned when I was listening through it was that Michael Goy said that he didn't set out to make a horror film. That's just how it ended up being labeled, which makes a lot of sense because nothing really scary happens for most of the movie with the exception of the climax and the two pictures.
There is nothing else. It's just shit masquerading
more
as
of
what people call a good movie.
It's more going for more of like a thriller than it is like a slice of life thriller than it is going for like a horror movie. It's just because it's a found footage film, and I think that's just the association.
Yeah, that's what they go, and it's just kind of like, yeah, that's it.
That's pretty much most of my, I guess, defense of the movie because
Hmm.
it's really, really boring.
It's so just stupid.
Anyway, enough about the background. Let me actually give the plot. So, Megan is missing. It's about these two friends, Megan and Amy. Megan is the big slut, and then Amy's just the really nice girl. I get good grades. Ooh, I'm so friendly. And basically, we get to look into this like certain period of their lives because Megan, in a shocking twist, goes missing after interacting
What?
with someone. Yeah, I know, right? Who would have guessed it? Not
Oh
me.
my god, this is like 2 episodes in a row now.
I know. This is the
Like
big
first
shocks.
Doctor Alien and now this?
I don't know how we're gonna survive. You think that wait until next recommendations? Those are gonna blow you out of the water with their
Oh boy.
twists.
Oh, did you say recommendations?
Yeah, I mean we're both
Oh boy.
recommend. No, because we're
Oh,
both.
oh yeah, yeah, yeah. I thought you were recommending. Yeah, yeah. Okay, I know. I got you.
No,
I
no, no.
got
I would not reveal I'm recommending a trilogy like that. I'd save that till the right moment.
you.
I'd save it for the
Okay.
end. I want you to get sucker punched with it.
Okay, keep going.
But she goes missing, and then yeah, that's kind of it without delving into. And it's just basically following these people. Hold on, let me get the DVD. The DVD has like its opening tagline on the DVD. Probably
Oh god.
better explains the movie than I ever could. All right. God damn it! I have the lights off in my room. Of course, it's gray fucking text. That's why I can't read it. Okay, I'm just gonna squint it out.
Oh,
Megan and Amy are best friends. They share secrets. They
secret.
they chat with boys online, and in a few days they will never be seen again.
Hmm.
There we go. That's probably the best summary I can give it.
Okay.
So Cole, what do you think of Megan is Missing?
I mean, I think you already got my reaction to it, but I'll say it again. It was pretty bad. I mean, really bad. I mean, like I said before, it was just some of the most cringy ass, stupid, out of touch acting about how teenagers would react, besides, certain language with how they would talk with swearing and all that. But it was so boring. And I also hated how all the news sections looked. It looked like something that Derek Savage would have done for a news report, and how he would have done it in presentation mode, and how it also looked partially like a PowerPoint at the same time.
I don't know. I enjoyed the news sections. They're like the funnier moments. They
I
have
mean,
this
they're definitely the
serious
more
thing.
goofier moments and can be entertaining, but I just hated how it looked. It looked like something that they made with $5.
Well, this was shot in like a week. Maybe they really only did have $5 to shoot all that.
Maybe. But yeah, I absolutely just did not enjoy this and hated this. And I honestly hated both of the movies we talked about. So,
That's fair. I mean, the most good chunk of the movie is just basically following Megan and Amy in their like lives. Megan's basically like this like slut, and she sucks dicks, and her life's miserable at home, and she does drugs. And Amy's just the really nice girl who's like clean and proper and doesn't like do this kind of stuff.
mm-hmm.
And well, they go to a party at one point, and there's like drugs. And at one point, I saw the boom mic, and I was like, "There it is! There's the boom mic."
Oh, yes, the boom mic.
That was pretty great when I noticed
That
that.
was funny.
Fun fact: apparently, they shot the party that was shot during the day. Like all the inside
Yeah,
shots were during the day.
that's interesting.
Oh, here's another fun behind the scenes fact: the restaurant they're at, like kind of in like the beginning of the movie where they're
Yeah,
talking,
yeah, yeah.
that's called like the Cadillac Jack. That's not even a real restaurant. That's just a place
What?
that was designed to be shot for films to shoot at.
Okay.
Sorry to break like your immersion. I know you were like, man, I really want to go eat at Cadillac Jack's now, but it's not
Mm-hmm.
real. It wasn't real,
Oh,
Cole.
that
You're
just
not
gave me a
real.
that just gave me another thing to think about too. With how it says in the beginning that it's recorded through obviously the news reports, home videos,
Cell phone
computer
signals.
files, and cell phone signals. Like, how are they recording on like, because they didn't really have smartphones in 2007. So what were they recording on
They were ahead of their time.
with their faces? Like, did they snag iPhones from the most recent iPhones from like 2010, 2011 when they were making this and just decided, oh yeah, that's gonna really fit with 2007?
I mean, I don't know. I mean, have you noticed that their phone quality is the same as a regular camera quality?
Mm-hmm.
There is like no like real change of like quality on like any of their times whenever they were like talking and stuff.
Okay, I just looked it up. The first iPhone didn't release until June 29th of 2007. So even then, they wouldn't have even had it.
Yeah, no, this is just
They were 5 to 6 months a little too early.
I think that it's just a suspension. It does, and in a way, you can argue they were a bit ahead of their time with kind of having kind of this kind of stuff, you know,
Yeah, whatever.
like doing FaceTime on your fucking phone.
Get real.
Get real.
Still stupid.
Still stupid.
Still stupid. Breaks my immersion of this other shitty movie. And like, it also, because what you were saying with how Michael Goy said it was for parents, it also gives off. Do you remember like in elementary school having those stranger danger videos?
Yes.
It could do that also, but for, online predators. And, it also gave me an idea too. If they just gave Chris Hansen a call, he could have researched into that whole fucking creepy skater boy dude, and he could have gotten him arrested on the spot, and none of this would have happened. But they're stupid.
This can be an alternate universe where Chris Hansen doesn't exist.
Or he's just doing a different career path.
Chris Hansen is the Predator in this movie.
Chris Hansen is the Predator. Well, how the turntables. I'm Chris Hansen, aka Skater Boy.
Yeah, like in the video footage, like the CCTV footage they have of when Megan gets abducted. That scene where the captor grabs hold of her and looks at him, and there's like an awkward moment where they hesitate. That's him saying, "Hello, I'm Chris Hansen, and I'm a predator."
Hello, I'm Chris Hansen, online predator. You're coming with me.
And then runs off. But yeah, pretty much it's a bunch of filler, and we learn these characters. And then at one point, Megan gets Skypes with
titular Megan
skater dude.
Yeah, skater dude. Yeah, skater boy, skater dude.
Who goes by Josh?
Skater boy's that Avril Lavigne song.
Yeah, who goes by Josh, and he's just like, I was at the party and I saw you. You're like good looking. You're like cute.
I'm just shy.
We should like meet up like in the back of this like dark alley, abandoned alley.
Yeah, totally not suspicious at all. No, I'm not going to do anything. No, I just want to talk.
Yeah, and so they go, and then she gets kidnapped, and then there's like whole investigators like Megan is missing.
Dun dun dun.
Oh my god, I can't believe it. That's the title of the movie. They did it, guys. Go home. TikTok, you've picked another winner.
Ding ding ding. I wonder what TikTok finds more scary, this or Skinamarink.
Well, probably Skinamarink.
Probably. That one is more disturbing, but I have seen more disturbing shit than Skinamarink, to be fair.
I mean, to also be there, though, TikTok doesn't watch a lot of movies.
No, that is also true.
Like, if
it's like that one meme you see where it's like TikTok users, when they see a movie's over 10 seconds long and doesn't have this one song in it.
I mean, if I was 17 and I watched Skinamarink, I probably would have thought it would be the most disturbing shit, too. But now I'm like 25 and I've seen Soul Man, so like clearly I've seen more disturbing things.
I'd like to see what TikTok would say about Antichrist.
TikTok's be like, I just watched the most heart-moving film about race. It's called Soul Man. It came out in the 80s. It's about the struggle. It's about a white man experiencing the struggles that black people face on a day-to-day basis.
And okay, now even just saying, I know we just stopped talking about Soul Man, but I just thought about this too. And It's Always Sunny in Philadelphia. There was an episode where, not necessarily did blackface, but it was like a lightning strike, and the whole gang, when they look at themselves in the mirror, they would be black without being black.
I thought you were gonna mention the time when they were looking through pictures of blackface, and then Frank just goes, "Oh yeah, James Earl Jones does really good blackface."
Oh, I sent that to you.
Oh, I didn't notice
he's like, no, he's Darth Vader. Wait, I'm gonna go find that other one and send that to you. But keep talking about Mithrigan is missing.
Mathogin is Magulin.
Mithrigan is Morbin.
Mathrigan is Irishman.
Irishman.
Yeah, is Irishman. So she gets kidnapped, and then we get CCTV footage of the thing, and then it zooms in and enhance. Zoom in and enhance. It does that multiple times to really sell that she is, in fact, being missing. The Chris Hansen's really got him.
Chris Hansen.
Yeah, Chris Hansen's got him. And so then it just focused mainly on Amy, and she's kind of like talking about trying to find, like, talking about her feelings with Megan. She tries talking to Josh, but then Josh just becomes an asshole.
Yep.
Megan's other friends yell at her, and they're like, "You suck, and stop recording us, and you're gonna get Megan in trouble." Blah.
Yeah, you're stupid.
And then, and what I will say is...
Are you just trying to do this to get attention, you whore?
Yeah, dumb whore.
Yeah. How dare you try to help Megan in this situation, because we're the only ones that care about her. You're weird because you don't fuck.
You're cringe.
Or whatever.
You're not red-pilled and based like we are. Take that, you libtard.
Yeah. Up yours, woke moralists. We'll see who cancels who.
But she goes, like, to the park where she kind of talks about, like, the time she spent with Megan. And in what I feel like is the only scene that actually got me, an actual kind of decent jump scare. I know this is weird, kind of, but there's a scene where she walks to try to get her tabor that she just hit. She doesn't see it, and then there's just the hand that just shows up and, like, freeze phrases.
Oh God, I thought that was stupid. I actually kind of had like a laugh.
I thought that was pretty freaky. I think just the freeze, no noise, just silence.
The only thing I found freaky was just the photos, and that was it.
Not even the climax?
I mean, the climax for like a couple minutes, and then it just goes on way too long.
All right.
Like, there was a few moments where, like, you can hear Amy, like, screaming for help, and then it just goes on way too long. It's like, okay, I get it. I get what you're trying to go for here, Michael, and it is definitely important, but the way you did it is just, no. I just don't like how he did it.
All right, just to go on the note on your hand thing, apparently that was the best version, because originally, he talks about in the commentary. I only listened to certain bits for the both commentary tracks, but Michael talked about how originally she would grab and pull Megan away, but he said it looked really slow and clumsy and bad, so he tried to edit around it and make it better. He's like, and it still looked terrible, so I just did the freeze frame instead.
I mean, that might have been, it did seem a little more effective than just having the typical snag her away and then it just kind of stops.
But we did go past because there's the pictures. Oh, we forgot to talk about the funniest part of the movie, the reenactment.
Yes. Okay, now that was funny. An actual reenactment of what happened.
You can argue that this was the best part of the movie because that was the intention. It was supposed to come off as goofy and bad. You could say that
it did seem like I'm gonna go back to Derek again, but a cool cat, like, stranger danger message. It had that kind of feel to it for me.
I think I didn't watch the segment where Michael Goy talks about the making of that scene because I was fast forwarding to the stills. But yeah, that's like really goofy because they're like talking about how serious this is. This is really serious. And I think it's an important message we have to do. And in the fucking like video where she like walks by, and then the actor who steps in, fun fact, the actor that plays the role of the grabber in the reenactment, he actually plays Josh in the climax scenes.
Oh,
so you can argue canonically the grabber in the reenactment is the same person.
But they were too dumb to figure it out.
Well, no, because it's Chris Hansen. We've already established this.
Oh, right. We did say that.
But I love how in the scene when she walks over and then the actor grabs her and he's like, "You are now entrenched by me," and then just pulls her away. And Margot talked about, I want to have this scene really goofy, so that way, when we get this, because after that is like the two pictures, is like so that way in the next scene, like it punches them in the face. It's a sucker punch to the face.
Yep.
And I know a lot of people have problem with the two stills. I read a viewer like I'm not gonna say what I think about Michael Goy, but like those like scenes, and in the commentary tracks, with the because there's two commentary tracks. There's the director's one where Michael Goy talks about like the reason why those pictures are in it because he said this is how he explained it, that he had a friend who runs a fetish site that showed him two images similar to it, and he told him to show them to the police, and then the girl in those pictures turned out to be dead later. That's how Michael Goy explained the inspiration for that. All right, I should also mention when he talked about, oh my god, I keep thinking about, oh yeah, there's something else I want to mention. I just mentioned the title card of the movie is really funny. It's just this big, like, stock font, Arial bold of just Megan is missing, just big and plastered on the screen. I thought it was funny. And in the commentary track, Michael Gogo is like, oh yeah, I think if you're going to have a title movie, you got to have it really big. You got to really just flash it at the people. But when it mentions the real events, when he says based off of real events, it's like a combination of 6 different, like, events that, like, happened. So it's pretty much an amalgamation of a bunch of different things. So technically, he's not lying. It's not one key event. It's a bunch of different events mixed together in, like, a blender.
Interesting.
But Michael Goy talks about in the separate commentary track, it is the producer with the 2 actors who play Megan and Amy when they probably just after the movie was finished. And Megan talked about that shot was uncomfortable because the wood was rubbing against her wrists that she was in. And the contraption that was made for it was also uncomfortable because it's pulling up on her nostrils and stuff.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, I forgot to mention that Michael Goy said that he regretted, his big regret of the movie was that the actor playing Megan wanted to see the pictures that were inspired of the what she was gonna do, and he was like, I really regret it because I actually showed it to her. That was a really fucking stupid decision. So that's that interesting tidbit about those frames, which was really fucked up and pretty freaky, especially considering it follows the goofiest scene of the movie.
The goofy, yeah.
And then, as explained, Amy gets kidnapped next by Josh. And we get the big
Chris
climax.
Hansen.
Yeah, Chris Hansen, and she's held in a dungeon. And in Michael Goy's commentary track, because there's 2 parts that I always want to focus on the commentary tracks. It was the stills, and it was the dungeon scenes. And in the dungeon scenes, Michael Goy was just like, yeah, I didn't want to shoot in a dungeon, but when doing research, a lot of these, like, cases, they have them in this weird, like, dungeon area in their basement that they construct. So that's just kind of what we had to do, and this was, like, kind of the best location we can get. Apparently, this is shoot in the basement of a church, which is, like, historical, and it became a place where people shoot scenes in movies as well. Fun tidbit.
It kind of did have, like, a vibe of that ending of Blair Witch with that room.
Yeah, the weird dungeon.
Yeah, that weird, like, dungeon area and that final shot of that movie.
Yeah, Amy's held in a room that's, like, held back by, like, a piece, like a wooden stick.
And even think about that, too. It's like, Michael, where else are we going to have them? Like, the janky-ass, dirty-looking dungeon area definitely looked more appropriate for that than, like, I don't know, a tent.
That is true.
It just fit more with what these sickos do.
I guess you kind of wanted to be like something a little more like serious, because if it's in a dungeon, it looks kind of goofy. But that's kind of where it is.
Yeah.
I mean, granted, he probably could have shot in a basement if you want, but a dungeon was probably better.
He had the idea, but
I love how the door was being held in by like this like wooden stick. And the actresses, Megan and Amy, they made fun of that in the commentary track too. They found it very funny. But yeah, that seems kind of fucked up because it kind of shows like the torture that Amy has to endure while being held hostage by Josh. She gets raped by him.
Yeah, there's a lot of also like raping and also sexual harassment / assault also.
Yeah, there's a lot of that assault and sexual harassment throughout the movie from other characters.
Yeah.
But the main event happens at like the end of the movie because Josh turns out is an asshole and a piece of shit, and it's Chris Hansen.
Yeah, he turns out to be Chris Hansen, and then the predator catcher is those guys who caught EDP.
Yeah. But
they're actual good predator catchers this time.
Well, I mean, not in this movie because they didn't catch the predator.
This is in an extended director's cut when they finally catch him.
No, maybe, I don't know. In the sequel.
Yeah, in a sequel.
Mithrigan is missing.
Is missing 2 electric boogaloos.
No, Mithrigan is missing.
Oh, it's Oh, okay.
But after everything, he promises, "Oh, I'm gonna let you go. I'm just gonna store you in the barrel." And then boom, it's Megan. She's dead. And that's actually the actress Megan in the Thing.
Huh.
Like they had that it was in the commentary
It
that
wasn't
there's
like a prosthetic or anything.
no, it was all a bunch of makeup.
Huh.
No, they actually killed Megan. They threw her in a bucket.
Oh shit.
They wanted the realism. But no, it's a bunch of makeup, and it was really fun because she talks, because in the commentary she's like, "Oh yeah, I loved getting all the makeup done, but I hated the contacts." Yeah, because they put like the white contacts in her eyes, so her eyes were like all white and like gross looking, which is a theme because I feel like every single time I listen to actors talking about how they had to put like the white contacts in their eyes, they're like, "Yeah, I hated it because I couldn't see anything." Like that's what they said in the actresses who had an Evil Dead when they had to do put in the white contacts to become a Deadite.
Mm.
I remember that. I read it in the booklet with the DVD. But that's actually the actress. And then Amy gets put in the barrel, and then we get a 10-minute scene where basically Amy begs for life as Chris Hansen digs a hole, throws a barrel in, and bury it. And just to
Yeah.
note, Amy is not in the barrel when they're doing that digging scene.
Oh, okay.
Just
So they just kind of had like the voice off screen then, and
no. So they did shoot her in. She
oh,
was in the barrel when she was doing those lines, but in a safe location.
oh. But then when they were doing the digging, then it was.
Then that was just the audio over that. There was basically
Hmm.
there was a bag. Apparently, there was a bag of rice in the barrel, so that way there was some rate when he threw it in there.
Okay.
So there was some thought put in. They were like, no, we're not gonna put her in a barrel, make her beg for life, and then bury her alive, and then come back and dig her out.
Okay.
And to help make those really messed up scenes a little better, the actors did talk about like, oh, when we were there, we asked them to stay, and we was like Michael going. The actors they all talk about like, oh, there were people around, and they were like there to make sure we were comfortable, and if we want to stop, we would stop. So there was
Yeah.
care put into this. They didn't go the regular Holly Brown and go, you're gonna fucking work harder. Or at least that's what they say. Who knows if that's what actually happened? But just going off the word of what people are saying in the commentary tracks. But I prefer to believe that everything was fine and hunky dory during shooting and stuff for the actresses. And yeah, that's kind of the movie. It's another one of those things happen movie, and then we just talk about the points. Anything you want to add to the Mathregan is missing discussion?
Uh, uh, Not really.
Well, there we go. I guess that's all we have to discuss then about both movies. The worst combo we've had to talk about so far.
But yep, now we're done talking about the movies. Which one is the better movie out of these two pieces of shit?
All right. Well, thinking it over, they're both pretty bad. But if I was going to pick a better one, I guess it would probably be Megan is Missing because it has some actual good things in it. I would say not enough to bump it up to a 2 out of 10, but it has at least like something of like actual substance. Like at least it gets its message across way better than fucking Soul Man ever could. So I'm giving it to Megan is Missing.
Yeah, that would like Soul Man's much more tone deaf, and I don't really want to give a point to racism.
I mean,
So
if you want racism to win, I won't stop you. Cause it won't. It'll just be a tie.
I don't know. I really hated both, but I didn't really feel too reactionary more towards Megan is Missing than Soul Man. So it's tough.
It's okay. Take your time. I've had these decisions before.
I think I might have to go the way of That's My Boy, and I gotta pick Soul Man because it actually made me furious that a movie like this could be made and how they thought this was okay, and it actually grinded my gears so much on how offensive it is.
That you have to just pick it because of how
Yeah,
like
because I'm shocked that this got made.
this is one of those you've never it was a new taste of the palate.
Mm-hmm. Exactly.
So hey, that's another tie. Our very official second tie that we've had.
Yeah.
And it's because we both chose our own movies
Yep.
again.
Yep.
God damn it.
Fuck.
Oh well. I'll beat you
Okay.
next time.
We'll see.
We'll see. But with that out of the way, we have been recording for about
A
almost
while.
an hour 40, thanks to our Razzie and Oscar discussion. But
Mm-hmm.
now we get to do questions. Let me make sure
Question.
no one asked questions earlier before, make sure I don't miss anything. No, I think we're good. So we got a nice little handful to discuss. Let's start with the first question that I have, which comes for us from Palm. Palm with an N. With an
Not
M.
pon.
Palm.
Yeah,
Like
I was gonna
pom
say wait.
pom.
N. Pom pom. Yeah, pom pom.
Yeah, pom pom. So his question, he says, lately I find myself watching movies after listening to the soundtrack, then going to see the film. Do you guys feel or do the same? And does that make the emotional resonance of the soundtrack in the film weaker? No, not really. I don't really listen to film soundtracks before, at least not intentionally.
Yeah. There's like a few I've listened to. I'm not really like a big music guy, really in general. Like I'll listen to Spotify here and there, but uh if there's any soundtrack I've actually took the time to listen to after watching the movie, it's been The Social Network. I'm kind of a big fan of that one,
Yeah.
and it definitely adds on more to the film when I rewatch it here and there.
That's fair. The only film soundtrack I know that I've heard before seeing the movie, which isn't true because I haven't seen the movie yet, is Encanto because my sister has the soundtrack in her car
Mm,
at the moment, so I've heard that a good number of times. So
okay.
who knows? Maybe I won't like the movie as much or not. I'm not too sure. I do listen to the Houseu soundtrack occasionally because that one slaps.
Ooh, that one is. I gotta get to listen to that one
Yeah,
because I need to add more stuff to my one Spotify playlist of just movie music.
yeah. Do the Houseu soundtrack. It's really good. Do the Last House on the Left one, the original, that Bluegrass soundtrack. It's really good.
Okay.
All right, that I think that
And
answers that
that's
question. Next up we have Mattias. What are some movies you'd like to see in the Criterion Collection? David Cotta
I know what
movies,
you want.
haha, funny delivery.
Hey.
Get it, guys? It's the joke. It's the low hanging fruit, guys. You probably spent a long time thinking on that one, didn't you?
Yeah.
But yeah, I would. My stepbrother is a vampire. Obviously, it's my favorite Takato. It's a lot of fun. It's a blast. I mean,
I personally would love to see like a so bad like it's good or like that kind of just bad movie making but fun time kind of addition to the collection,
and
kind of like Neil Breen
and yeah,
movies on
Neil Breen
there.
box set. That's what I was gonna say next.
That would be awesome.
That would be
But I
pretty
actually do
cool.
have a few others in mind. But if you want to go more in your David Ducato route,
Not really. I mean, it is the year Ducato. We talked about a Ducato film last episode,
yeah,
and he got a 4K of one of his films released recently, Puppet Master 3. This is the year Ducato, baby. I mean, why not? Let's just keep going. Let's get a
David
Criterion.
Ducato sweep. Yeah, there are a couple. What was I? Well, one of them I thought of was The Holy Mountain. I thought that would be an interesting pick.
Any Hodorowski films really could probably get
Yeah,
one.
really Hodorowski.
They're artsy fartsy enough to be on the Criterion.
Oh, definitely. And Happiness also.
Yeah, Happiness is a good one. Just alone, so that way it's more readily available. I have it on
Yeah,
DVD, and it was so fucking expensive.
I was about to say like I can't find it anywhere, and I feel like that's like the whole point of the collection is to find those movies, and they've definitely have a lot more fucked up shit on the collection also with some of their other movies, and why not add Happiness
Yeah,
there too?
chill it out, baby.
It'll be an interesting pick,
Maybe Blair Witch, because they don't really have any
like
like
the Blair
found
Witch Project.
like they don't have any like found footage films on there. So why not put like the big Blair Witch Project like up
That would
onto
be
the
an
Criterion?
interesting
That'd be
one.
kind of cool. Like
I
it'd
could
be
see
like a
that.
different genre because they don't really have any like found footage films like in the mix. Trying to think because I'm probably sure there's some like other ones. Let me break out like
Um,
my favorites list. Mommy, I would love Mommy because that's one of my favorite films of all time.
I I need to see that one.
I would love if that got
Oh,
a Criterion. Dancer in the Dark. Dancer in the Dark should get a
oh,
Criterion.
yeah, Lars von Trier's already got a couple other ones on there, so
Yeah.
yeah, why not add that too?
Yeah, just so once again another one of those. Let's get a more easily accessible Blu-ray, because the only one that is the Japanese one, because they love Dancer in the Dark, which is fine because
Interesting.
the Japan Blu-rays are Region A as well. But
Mm-hmm.
I would be nice if there was a more accessible one than just
Yeah,
ordering
yeah,
from
yeah.
out of country. Dear Zachary, that'd be a great documentary to have on, uh, Criterion. It's miserable enough to be on one. There's a great range of emotion, but then again, like Oscilloscope owned, I think has the rights to it, so I don't think we'll be getting it.
Oh,
But then again, fucking Criterion got Wally on the Criterion set
that is
collection,
true.
so they can really do anything, honestly.
I'm just trying to think other movies I've rated like nines or tens. One I think would be interesting because I think you can make a really another cool little box cover art of Enemy from Denis Villeneuve.
You just want to get a big spider on a cover, don't you?
Yes, I do.
Here's another actually great
Because I
one.
have the Blu-ray and it looks like two Slendermen on it, which
Uh,
is also cool looking, but have the huge spider on it.
Here's a great one that does not even have a Blu-ray release yet. The Devils.
Oh,
Get all the footage of the
that we talked about
Devils,
on
like
Film
the
Club.
complete. They get like the complete version of the Devils and just release that on Blu-ray or 4K. Why not? The game's pretty good looking.
What about Cachet maybe too?
Oh yeah, Cash, yeah, that's a good one. The
That would be a good
Lighthouse.
one.
People, I've seen
Yes.
such good fake Criterion art for the Lighthouse that I'm
Oh.
surprised it has not been added onto it yet.
It should be. It definitely fits. I'm trying to look at even other movies from Film Club that we watched. What about Christine?
Christine?
The Rachel Hall one.
That one. That one could be good. I thought you were like the car movie.
Yeah, no, not the. Yeah, I meant the Rebecca Hall one.
How about The Whale? Just for the box art alone.
Just for Brendan.
Just to get Brendan Fraser like popping out of the ocean as a whale.
Yep. Oh, the Vengeance trilogy from Park Chan-wook.
That has a 4K release from Arrow already, though.
Mm.
Or at least I think they have a 4K release from
I know
Arrow.
there's an Old Boy Arrow version.
Yeah, maybe it's just a Blu-ray, but yeah, maybe if it was like a 4K release, that'd be great.
Your favorite maybe Interstellar 555.
No, that shouldn't get a Criterion.
But
Utoya,
one
22nd
more
of July.
Oh, that would be a.
That would be or another
July
another
22.
really good like one take movie that they can have.
Yeah, that was an experience to watch.
Yeah.
That
Especially
was
since the only way we were able to watch it was from like a kind of like
it was like archive.org.
yeah. So if that got a whole like Criterion release and get like a wider release, that'd be great.
And only that one, not July 22. That one is
Oh, that one
very
I hate that
middling.
one. That one sucks ass. I hate it.
It's stupid.
I think we listed enough films,
I think so.
goofy and serious.
Mm-hmm.
So next up, we got a pawn question, which if you can help me dissect it, because I couldn't really figure out
Yeah,
what
I think
it
I
was.
saw this one. I was trying to think about it too.
Okay, what piece of art comforts you with the understanding no human ever gave you? Like, what is...
I'm trying to think of. That's like the thing with his questions, though. They're very deep in certain ways.
I
think
can't
you
understand what the question's
interpret it
even trying to
other-
ask.
Is it like I'm thinking kind of like any kind of like piece of entertainment art that taught you something that no one else did is how I interpret it.
Okay, Soul Man taught me to not be racist, and I think I'm going to take that to heart.
I mean, I'm gonna go back to an animated favorite of ours of just Puss in Boots: The Last Wish and how to cherish your life and
You're
how
gonna die
sometimes-
one day. Puss in Boots: The Last Wish.
Synecdoche, New York.
Puss in Boots, New York.
Puss in Boots, New York.
I'm not too sure if I have
Yeah,
something
I
that
don't-
taught me a new emotion.
Yeah,
Fear.
Oh,
Movies have taught me fear before to an extent that I never could from a parent or someone I know. But I guess that's not really comforting, is it? Being scared.
no.
It's hard because if I'm younger, a lot of that emotional stuff is kind of just the basic things that you kind of already know from like your parents, or at least if you have good parents. I had good parents, so I
Mm-hmm.
get that. And now, as an adult, I don't really get those comforting feelings. 'Cause a lot of that stuff, like more developed tastes, are things like just extensions to the back to like the
Yeah.
basic stuff.
I would even say also just because everything ever all at once and its messages about also life and how there are even like in all these even with how big the world is, you can always find a way to be valuable in some way, shape, or form. Even if it's like the most minuscule thing, just like helping someone out or kind of
That
being a
that's a pretty good one. Yes, it's fair.
I love the message in it and how it's portrayed by the Daniels and they did such a good job with it and
Yep. But then TikTok like it, and now the death of cinema is happening.
fuck TikTok. I'm not even actually kidding. I hate that app so much.
I don't
The
even have
only
it.
things I find funny is any like clips my brother sends me that I would actually find funny, and that's it.
You have your own curator of TikTok.
Yeah,
I just didn't
I'm very
care, so
ashamed that
I
like
never had to get angry about anything ever, really.
yeah, I just like to watch the cringe stuff from like Critical and all that, and all those other commentary people that talk about it. So then I don't have to talk about it, look at it.
All right. I think we not kind
Yeah,
of answered that question.
I, I mean, I think we were able to answer it in our way, in how we thought it was going
We
to be.
answered the best way that we could, even if
Yeah.
I didn't really have a real answer to the
Mm-hmm.
question.
Yep.
It was just my own gobbledygook.
Gabbity goop.
Okay, so we got a question. We got two questions for Robert because I don't know if we're gonna have a big answer for them, so I'm gonna ask
Okay.
them both. So we got weirdest memory from school.
Oh God.
I mean, weird things happen at school. I don't know if I can list a specific one off the top
I
of
don't
my
know if I
head.
can either.
Um, like weirdest memory, like I can list like a good memory from school, but like a weird one, um, yeah, I can't think of anything.
Yeah, I can't either. The
Like,
only thing I can think of is not necessarily when I was in high school, but I found out it was like the sophomore year of my college for me. And I read like a news report like from one of the local news stations in my hometown and there was this one I'm not obviously going to drop names and all that, but he was like a star varsity basketball player and he got caught dealing drugs.
oh,
So like he lost his scholarship and all that. That got all fucked up and
oh, I guess that spurred, I guess, a weird thing, not weird, but interesting. But in my senior year of high school, it turns out we had an undercover cop in class, like a Jump Street like type situation. Where there's a guy an undercover cop posing as a student. Apparently, he busted like some dudes dealing drugs at school. Apparently, I didn't know about it, but people were like, oh, "This is
wow.
what happened. Here's like the picture of him in the yearbook." I was like, "Oh wow, okay." And here's the next one. What's your favorite YouTube channel? Nefarious Reels, baby, the only one that
Hey,
matters. I don't know. There's a lot of channels I like. I
there
guess
are a
the
lot of
one
channels
that I
in
watch the
here.
most is Ordinary Sausage, and it's a channel where a
Ah,
guy makes sausages.
yep.
I
I've seen a lot of stuff from him.
Yeah, I've sent
I
you.
actually started watching him because of Critical. Watched him on stream and then had him on his podcast and then just been watching since.
It's fun. It's fun watching him. It makes
It is
me
a
want to
fun.
make sausage.
I'll go in a different route. I mean, there's obviously all those other fun movie channels that I mostly watch, but one of them I really enjoy is Dead Meat with their kill count. Like he'll do like the kill counts of horror movies and with the newer ones, he usually gives more like behind the scenes stuff about how certain scenes were shot or what kind of practical effects were used and all that. So it's a lot more information about how they made these movies and
Yeah.
also while counting the kills in them.
Yeah, I used to watch them, then I kind of fell
It's
off.
fun.
But I did remember watching this Thanksgiving 3 one after we did the episode. And then he mentioned characters sounding like South Park characters. I was like, that fucking son of a bitch, Cole. He took that one from him.
I mean, how could you not like compare that though?
Well, that wasn't the thought that
Because you
crossed
can
my
hear
mind.
South Park.
I didn't. I didn't draw that comparison at all.
Really?
I thought that was your own original thought. But you were just a
I mean, I hadn't
plagiarism.
watched the video in a year, but I just kind of forgot he said that, and it just crossed in my mind that oh yeah, he sounded like a South Park character. They sound like South Park characters,
It didn't
or
cross
like
my
some
mind until
ripoff
you
one.
brought it up in our discussion. Now the episode's ruined forever. Now I can't listen to it anymore.
Because I said one thing for like
You
five
said one
seconds.
thing for 5 seconds. That ruined the whole episode.
I know I'm the worst person in the world.
You ruined it. It's terrible. You're the second worst person in the roll call, right behind Soul Man. All right. Well, with that question answered, I feel like move on to our final question from Mattias once again. Very simple one. What are some of your favorite and least favorite animals?
Well, one of mine that I had as a favorite ever since I was a kid and still do now, I've always loved elephants
All right.
because they're so just cool looking with their trunks and
They're
how they're
big
able to
trunks.
grab branches, how they're able like to grab branches, and I've just always loved how they look. I don't know what it is, but they're so cool.
Okay.
And another one that I actually liked a lot recently is capybaras.
Yeah. Capybaras are pretty cool.
They're like the chillest rodents ever.
Yeah, they're pretty cool.
They are pretty cool.
As a kid, I was super huge into snails. I thought snails were really cool. They had like a shell. They got the long eyes that you poke and they'll go in. I took care of them sometimes. I was usually really bad at it, but sometimes I get really serious. I actually took care of a female snail long enough that it actually gave birth to like a little snail. And then I forgot about them and they died.
Oh God.
Well, I mean, I think they died. I think we just tossed the bucket. I like to think they live long, prosperous lives. That'd be better. But it was really cool seeing a tiny little snail with a little baby shell. That was pretty cool. Penguins are pretty cool too.
Penguins are cool.
Least favorite animals. Bees suck. And the only reason why I don't kill them on the spot is because we need them to live.
Yep. Mosquitoes suck also.
Flies when they buzz over your ears. I hate that shit.
Flies.
That pisses me off. Wasps, any bug that like flies and stings.
Anything that like usually, flies mostly kind of sucks.
That specifically flies and can like sting you. Like if it's on the ground and it can sting you, that's fine. I can avoid you. If it flies but it's not bothersome, except you're a fucking fly, then that's fine, whatever. But if you can fly, or you can sting or bug, you suck. You're terrible. Cats and dogs, they're pretty great.
I do like cats and dogs.
Any comment? A lot of animals are really cool, honestly. I already said penguins, but I'm gonna say penguins again because they're like that cool.
Zero.
So nice. I have to say it twice.
Nice.
Any animals? I don't think I really have any animals that I don't like past the bugs, because
centipedes creep me out.
Yeah, I guess I don't encounter centipedes a lot, so they don't.
I hate
bother me.
spiders.
Like spiders, as long as they keep their distance,
Spiders
they're
and
fine.
tarantulas. Yeah. Any of those like freaky monster ones from Australia, those are.
Oh, you mean spiders?
As hell. Yeah, you know, like those like giant ass ones.
Yeah.
Yeah, those.
The big boy spiders. You know the scene in Lord of the Rings where there's that giant spider? Yep. They actually just flew to Australia to shoot that.
Oh, jeez.
They just went to. They got an actual big spider from there. The spider's still loose in New Zealand. They took that spider from Australia to New Zealand, and they weren't able to kill it, actually. It's still roaming there to this day. Any non-bug least favorite animals?
Not really.
Yeah, I don't really have any vendetta against... I don't know. Maybe if an animal kills like a relative of mine, then I can hate them. Then we can come back to this question. I guess that's all our questions.
Yeah.
So take it away, Cole.
Now?
Yep, do the outro, Cole.
All right. Now we're on to our recommendations for the next episode. And since I had the retro for this one, Ninjedi, what is your retro pick the next episode around?
All right. So by the time not this episode, but the very next episode comes out, Valentine's Day will pass. But I still feel like because it's February, the month of love, and Valentine's Day will come, we should still cover... a kind of movie that might kind of cover some romance. And I feel like we should give some love to one specific director for this. And I know you'll probably be excited once you hear the work he's done before I say my recommendation. Have you ever heard of a little film called Ghosts Can't Do It?
No, I haven't actually.
Oh, well, we're talking about another for this director. He made that film, and we're going to be talking about another film of his. 1984's Bolero.
Bolero?
Bolero, directed by John Derek, who directed the film Ghosts Can't Do It from episode 3.
Bolero, there it is. Watch list that.
Yep, we're doing another John Derek film, baby, with his then wife, Bo Derek.
Nice.
Yep, I already ordered the Blu-ray from eBay because it was quicker than Amazon and cheaper. But Cole, what's your modern pick?
Ooh, yeah. So this one took me a bit because there was a couple things I was thinking of, and obviously with awards coming out, I thought thinking of doing a Razzie type movie, but then I was like, why not talk about like some really bad movies that got Oscar nominations? And this one in particular is going to be the first comic book superhero movie we've done.
Black
And
Panther?
no, no, it's from the rival DC, and it's sadly not. It's not going to be Zack Snyder, but a movie that they also want another cut of. 2016 Suicide Squad.
All right. I've been meaning to recommend this at some point, but you saved me the time. Can't wait to watch this in 4K. You're watching the director's cut.
I think I have the Blu-ray actually with the director's cut actually. So
Good, because you're watching it. I'm not doing that shit again. But if you don't want to get spoiled for Bolero or Suicide Squad, how about watching those for the next episode? And hey, how about asking us for some questions as well, so we can answer those too, and also like and subscribe and all that jazz. Jazz, like what black people play, Soul Man. It's all connected.
Jazz, yeah, and also that one song from Back to the Future that Marty McFly stole.
Oh, cool. Just want to confess something. When you recommended Soul Man and after we like left and stopped talking, I was like,
Oh no,
I should have recommended White Chicks. I wish I thought of that like after you said
that would
Soul
have been
Man.
the ultimate double feature.
Oh well. We're gonna have to save that for another day. Maybe in another
Yep.
blackface movie for the retro pick.
Mm-hmm.
And then the other can do White Chicks. But anyway, hope you all have a good day and have a happy Morbius.
Happy
Hashtag
Morbius.
Morbius sweep.
Release the fart cut, Richard.
Hashtag Mathregan is missing.
Hashtag John Favreau ruined the Lion King.
Hashtag racism wins.
Hashtag fuck racism.
Yeah, goodbye everybody.
Goodbye.
Bye. Bye.